All right. After a long day of work and technical difficulties, here we are at A&E's Infinity and Beyond. Thank you to the 9 people that are here already, and so sorry for keeping you waiting. Um, but like I said, here we are. Um, and if you'll forgive me for one moment, I have some notes that I'm going to go ahead and pull up. But seriously, thank you for being here, especially after us being a bit of 20 minutes late. Um, but this is going to be great. The topic today is masking, which I'm sure for every autistic person in this virtual room is a, a familiar topic. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to talk about this today. Um, and since you guys have been here already, I would love to hear if you guys have any questions that you have come to this. This live stream with, please feel free to toss them into the chat and we can get to chatting about them. Um, so yeah, let's uh let's do our thing here. Okay, and I have opened up my notes now, so I can give you the actual proper greeting for this stream. So, what's up, y'all? Welcome to AA&E's Infinity and Beyond, an interactive stream about issues that matter to us, the autistic community. With open minds, let's share our opinions and questions. AA&E is an organization that provides services to autistic folks, their families, and the folks and professionals that support them. Click the link in the description of this video to learn more. My name is Liv Gallup, Liv Gallup. I've worked at AA&E for almost 7 years. Come this January, it will be 7 years. And I've been diagnosed on the spectrum since I was 8. I am 30 now. I am also published on the intersection of being both queer and autistic. I am a trans woman myself, and I'm excited to get things going today. So let's jump in. Um, Heck yeah. So, okay. I want to start with like just kind of like a blanket question, which is that what is masking to you? What does that mean to you? Because like, excuse me, it comes in so many forms. Like whether it's masking, hiding your behavior or stims, or having to pretend that you have enough energy to do something when you really don't, or feeling like you have to do something to fit in, or you have to wear something to fit in. Um, and it's yeah, it can be tough for sure. Brittany, I entirely agree. It's a fake it till you make it kind of scenario. ah I wish we didn't have to though. Um but yeah, no, for sure. It's it's a tough thing to navigate. So I'd love to hear from other folks. What does masking mean to you? And in the meantime, I'm going to answer this lovely question that Maggie just gave us, which is, do you ever actually make it by faking it till you make it? At least in this realm of masking and pretending and all that stuff. And feel free to answer that yourselves as well. But I'm going to take a stab at it right now. And I'm going to say yes and no. Because by masking, I certainly. um, that's a great response, Brittany. Excuse me. Make it to where? Burnout? Yes, you do. Absolutely. um, but I can safely say that by masking, I was able to get myself to some places that if I were to have been my completely authentic self, I probably would not have had those opportunities, which is really sad to say, but like in a world that's not built for us, that's kind of the thing we have to do sometimes. But but then of course, as has already been pointed out, um you don't treat yourself well while you're masking super hard all the time. It can lead to burnout. It can lead to just being like irritable and like upset, and it's just super not a good time. um it makes me tired. It makes me so freaking tired to have to mask all the time. And um, I have to do it to a certain degree when I'm working at my second job. I work at my local Petco, and I'm usually on the register, so I'm the cashier. And like I have to be the one to be like, "Hello, welcome to Petco. How are you? My name's Liv. Can I help you today? Oh, is that all you're getting? Oh, okay. That's gonna be like 44.69. And do you have a phone number with us? Do you want to like start a credit card with the store? Do you want to buy a parrot? Like, I don't usually say that last one, but in fact, I've only ever sold one parrot while I've been there. But the point is, that's not who I am in real life. Like, like I'm not like I'm bubbly and pleasant, but like not in that very corporate subservient fashion. That's not for me. Um, but it exhausts me. That was the point I'm trying to make is like, I come home from working at that place and like sure it makes me good money and I get to hang out with the animals all day, which is really nice. But it's exhausting. And certainly one of the biggest culprits is having to mask like crazy all day. Um, so sick. That's fun. And I'm sure that a lot of us can relate to um, having to be at jobs where masking is something that we have to be really attentive to the entire time. And it doesn't have to be at just like retail positions too. Like office culture with like work is a thing. Some people are even more exhausted by that. But anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. I'm gonna catch up with the chat real quick. Yeah, that's a great comment, Molly. Trying to be normal to others, and like then the question comes up of like, what even is like normal in this scenario? Like, what would you like? What parts of yourself do you have to sacrifice for this quote unquote normal? Um, and I agree. Like, whatever that is usually entirely different than my inner self as well. It's not fun. Um, can only get through my second job through masking. Oh my god. Ah. I'm so sorry you have to deal with that too, Molly. It's a lot. It's a lot. Um but yeah, and like that's kind of like what I was saying earlier when it's like, there is some merit to fake it till you make it. Well, not merit. I don't want to give it that much honor. There's some use to there's some use to masking because it gets you, in some places like that. And currently while we're living in a vampiric capitalist economy where you are made to work, otherwise you won't survive, then unfortunately for us, that means that masking can become very necessary sometimes. Um, so we've talked a bit about work. Like, does anybody else watching have other examples of masking that they are keen to talk about, or at least have noticed at some point in their lives? Like, like what about like with like personal relationships or like maybe even parental relationships, um, or just existing in public, like if you're just like walking to the store or whatever. I'd love to hear more about masking at high levels in a remote corporate environment, having to be hyper aware of tone in all communications where the culture is very fluffy. Oh, I understand what you mean. I'm gonna reiterate it just for everybody else listening, and please correct me if I get anything wrong, Brittany. But like essentially, like talking about having to mask so that you fit within this kind of like very like almost overly sensitive corporate culture where you like have to be like part of not only like a vibe within a workplace, but you have to be so like I don't know, like you just have to be so like worker y. Like it's forgive me for describing it with such vague terms, but like you have to be like okay, like I'm sure some of my audience here are like millennials or younger. So like have you all seen that episode of SpongeBob where he tries to be normal and instead of being like SpongeBob, he just goes, "Hi, how are you? Wonderful weather we're having. Okay, see you later." Like that's what I think of when you have to be like office culture normal. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. Anyway, um, but yeah, so if I got that right, Brittany, um, the it just becomes like it becomes this like completely like it becomes like a character. At least for me, like it becomes like a character where I have to um like oh my god, no, you described it perfectly. It's like you have to be this character where it's just like, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my god, everything is so exciting. Like, oh my god, I can't wait for like our I don't know. I'm sure everybody's workplace has a specific piece of their culture that isn't their favorite. Ah, but anyway, um yeah, so like that is exhausting. Like having to be like, "Yes, I'm here. I am so excited." For, 8 plus hours a day depending on what kind of thing you work at. Um and like I think you described it pretty well, Brittany, where it's like you have to be very like on and smiley and attentive and often shifting between tasks and like interrupting your own flow of work, which like I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I am on a task, I'm finishing it. I almost dropped an F-bomb there. I am finishing it. um and if I'm made to be interrupted, then not only does that screw up my entire workflow, I don't even want to like finish it if I like have to get interrupted like that. But it drains so much of my energy because I have to take myself out of this work mode that I've been in um, for the sake of getting into a different one. Which is its own thing and really annoying, but it's also like a change in plans, which like I'm sure that a lot of us can relate to last minute change of plans being very difficult. So like, having to multitask like that, having to be flexible like that on top of having to be happy, bubbly, yes, of course I'll do it. Um it seems like it's not only masking, but it's almost there's like an implication that you're supposed to not voice your displeasure when faced with those kinds of challenges. Um, and I really, really dislike that part about office culture. Um, and that's actually one of the things I was psyched on when we started working from home. Because like like as far as AA&E goes, it's different at Petco because I have to be there. But like at AA&E, I'm here and I'm in the meetings that I need to be in. And as soon as they're done, I'm done. And like this is my room behind me. So like I can just you know, take a nap, play some video games, pick up my guitar, which is right next to me all the time. Um and I just like that environment so much better. And I know a lot of autistic folks that have also sung the praises of being able to work from home. So yeah, that's like if you guys want to have more points to make about like office culture kind of things, please feel free to bring that up. But I am just catching up with the chat here. Oh, Sue, that is a wonderful point. Um, so keeping a mask on until you know somebody better, so that you can trust them. Um, I definitely do that because like I don't know. I don't think I'm super weird even like like even like as far as what neurotypical folks or allistic folks would consider like weird. I don't think I'm even like that far into it. But like I definitely want to know that whomever I am with is going to treat me with respect if I do anything that they might consider like quirky, even if I don't. Um, so I completely empathize with that, Sue, where it's like, you got to know that somebody is going to actually treat you with respect. And like, I'm sure that a lot of us have been through enough trauma to not, um, or to at least be wary of new folks just for the sake of like, not getting our feelings hurt again. Um, so yeah, thank you for that one. That is a really good point. Um, and then I just want to express a joy that goes along with this. It's kind of like the yin to the yang of this situation, where like usually when I meet fellow neurodivergent folks, it's like click at first interaction. Um, one of my best friends right now, whose name I will keep anonymous for their privacy's sake, um, is like she's ADHD, and then I am ADHD, and so together we just like vibe so hard, and like it helps that like we're into like the same music and stuff, and like we like have just a lot of the same interests, but like it's like so like on the level, and like I feel like I have like a radar for like potential other neurodivergent folks. It doesn't mean I'm right all the time, but like you just think about this to yourself, like when you meet other people, like if you can like just by like vibes alone kind of tell like, that person might be like on the spectrum, or like, that person might be like neurodivergent a little bit. Not saying to cast judgment or to try to go and like diagnose anybody, but like I don't know, like I feel like I have a radar for it, similar to, actually no, I'm not going to make that comment. um Tism tingles, oh my god. Hell yeah, that's a good one, Maggie, I like that. Um, Hell yeah, for sure. And like, so my point in bringing that up is like I vibe with other spectrum folks so hard, and like I love to just indulge in like our beautiful and unique experiences as two spectrum folks together. One of my other friends actually is not only a fellow spectrum person, but a fellow trans woman and a fellow musician, and like the two of us have like such crazy overlap with just our life experiences in general, and like, oh my god, I love it. Like it is such a breath of fresh air to be friends with her, and I just like I am so grateful that she's in my life. And like I'm seeing that a couple of you guys in the chat are saying similar things, and I am so freaking glad that you guys have like awesome cool spectrum of folks who are like really good friends of y'all's in your life. That's awesome. Yeah, Molly and Sue, I was just reading your comments. That's really cool. I love that for you guys. Hell yeah. Okay. Um, so I am going to move on to my next question that I had prepared here, which is, what does it mean to unmask? So we've talked a lot about what masking is and how it manifests in different environments. So how do you unmask? And you can answer this in two ways, either in the very practical way of just like, what do you do when you are able to unmask? How do you gain your energy back? What is your favorite, like recoup method? Or you could answer it in the more like kind of abstract way, which is like, how do you, um, crap, I had a description in my head and it just went away. Okay, well, let's start with the first one. So, like, when you are able to unmask, how do you go about doing so? How do you recoup your energy if you've lost a lot of it due to masking? And just how do you like be radically your authentic self? I guess I can go first while people are thinking about and typing, maybe. But I'll use one example of my own personality. I am just, excuse me, I am just loud like all the time. So I greatly value it when I am able to be my like very authentic, bombastic self. Because like I mean, and I mean it in the literal sense of like volume wise, I just speak with a lot of projection. Um, and and then like I don't know, like I'm a boisterous person. Like I don't know, I have a ear piercing laugh like anybody who's been close to me, uh whether that be personally or in a physical room with me knows that. Um but Yeah, like I greatly value not having to monitor that. Where like, like again, I'll use the example of Petco where like I'm here, serving customers and like I have to be like, "Hi, how are ya?" The SpongeBob thing again. Um but then when I get home, um and I see my roommate and my cat, um this is I'm not kidding you. This is how I say hello to my roommate when I get home. I will literally just make a noise, something just like "Blah, blah, blah," and like just like trumpet this to him. Um and that's how we say hello, and it's fine. um and like I love just being able to like let that out and just be this like little strange creature that I am. Um but yeah, no, that's like I just feel so free and I can just like feel my energy coming back when I'm able to do that. Oh, Molly, that's a great one. Um yeah, I feel that cuz like first off the music, yes, absolutely, like, like soundtrack to life, let's go. Um and And then, like, the pacing I totally get too. Like, I don't know how this is, like, for you, but, like, for me, like, being in motion like that is, like it's not only, like, good for the stimmies, but it's also, like, just, like, calming because it's just, like, I like the motion, like, just, like, going forward or whatever direction just, like, is soothing somehow. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, tell me if it feels similarly to you or if you have a different experience. But regardless, like, I get what you mean by just, like, moving around and, like, having a soundtrack on. That's awesome. Hell yeah. And I hope that you, have plenty of opportunities to be able to do that. Oh, you guys did the noise thing as well. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Very cool. Yeah, my roommate and I have we have like a voice that we like do to each other. Like and it's that kind of like halfway between like Gollum from Lord of the Rings and like Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So it's just like "Let's only talk about the bill," like, and it's just gibberish otherwise. Like, um, anyway, I don't need to go much deeper into that, but I felt like telling y'all because we were on the topic. Um, anyway, continuing. Um, give my goofy ADHD full reign. Um, yeah, absolutely, Sue. I totally get that. Um, and like that's like what a like practical answer because it's like of course like because what is masking but like putting all of those traits away, and um, so then like when you unmask, it's letting all of those traits come back to the forefront, and that's radical, and I mean that like in like the actual sense of the word, and not like just like radical dude, but but also radical dude. Um, but like yeah, like that is a radical way to bring yourself back to the forefront and let your energy fly. Um, so that's cool. I'm a fan of that for you, and I appreciate that you get to do that. Heck yeah. Anybody else have comments, ideas on what unmasking is? Ooh, verbal stimming. Yeah, quantum chica. I totally vibe with that. Absolutely. Um, Feel free to elaborate that on that if you want to. Um, but I actually do something similar. I am a vocalist in a death metal band. My band is called Ice Giant. If anybody is interested in death metal, um, but I have learned how to make a lot of strange noises by practicing being a death metal vocalist. And so sometimes I will just do them to myself because it just feels nice, or it's a sound that is pleasing to me somehow. Um, or it just lets like a little bit of like my pure neurodivergency out for like a second before I have to mask up again. And no matter the reason, it's very pleasing for me. Um, if I get um, 3 votes of confidence in the chat, I'll demo the voice for you. Anyway, but yeah, no, the verbal stim is very, very cool, and I appreciate that you do that, Quantum Chica. Hell yeah, very cool. Oh, that's true. Okay. Being uncomfortable for a long period of time and then immediately release where I feel like I have to get all stims out at once. Ooh, that's interesting. Can you describe that more, Molly? Um, Maggie, your vote doesn't count. You work here. Um, crap. Brittany got it. Okay, 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 okay. Fine. Fine. I'll do it in a second, but I'm going to address Molly first. So I feel like I have to. Crap! You shouldn't have said that. Wait, Quantum Chica, Sue, and Brittany. Oh, so okay, yeah, no, we got all outside people voting for it, so it counts. I'll do it. Being uncomfortable for a long period of time and then immediately release. So, what does that like look like? What does that feel like to you? Because like to release it all at once, that must be like an experience. Like, can you describe that a bit more, Molly? Um, and while you're typing that, I'll do the voice. Um, So I'll give you guys a quick demo on how I get down there as well. So like you just pretend you have a really crappy cold. So you're just like or like you just got some really disappointing news. So you're like, oh my God. And then you kind of just put some diaphragm power behind it. So it's like and then you add words. So you're just like, good evening, everyone. Welcome to infinity and beyond. Anyway, so that's the death metal voice. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, my band is called Ice Giant. I'm putting that in the chat. Um, and we are on tour. No, that already passed. We were on tour this summer, but we'll probably have some more shows that sometime in the near future. Um, yeah, hell yeah! Thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys being interested in my other talents. Um, yeah, hell yeah. I'm asking sometimes feels like the meme with the demon in the bathtub. Find me after two. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get that, Brittany. Absolutely. Oh, that's I see that, Molly. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and like as a fellow knuckle cracker, like I just like, oh, just yes, like yes. I get where you're coming from for sure. Okay, we have 2 questions left. Excuse me. Do you guys have any strategies for helping yourselves unmask, specifically unmasking? And the reason I ask this is because, like, we all will find the necessity to mask sometimes, and usually we're able to get there. But it's really important to be able to open ourselves up and, like, actually, like, exist as ourselves and unwind and all that stuff. So, I understand that sometimes that can be difficult because, normal quote unquote society expects us to be in that kind of masked state all the time. So how do you like remind yourself to be yourself? Like do you have specific times that you do it? Do you like have like stealth little ways that you make sure you can get your energy out? Are you just unashamed and do it anyway? If so, tell me how you're doing that, because please. Um, but but yeah, please let me know how you get yourself to unmask. Quantum Chica, have to feel safe around other neurodivergent people to really unmask. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. And sometimes that's just how it is. Like you need your community and folks need to demonstrate that this is a safe spot for you. Like I totally get where you're coming from there. Um I empathize with that on the level of being trans cuz like, you know, it's not like I can hide being trans and I would never want to anyway. But like, I'll like kind of tone it down when I'm around folks that I don't know if I'm safe around. But if I'm around a bunch of other trans people and, then I can just be like, hi. Oh, and I value that so much. So I hear where you're coming from there for sure. Um, Distance walking and hiking, running solo helps me get back to my core in times when it's more challenging to do so. That's great. Heck yeah, Sue. I'm so glad that you have that for yourself. That's really really cool. Um, and it like I think we talked about like motion and being in motion a little bit earlier, and like I swear to God, there's just like a calming quality of being in motion. And then I'm sure the exercise helps with that too, for sure. And like that actually is like so impressive to me that you're able to, incorporate exercise into your healing. Like that's something that I have never had the like innate discipline to do. So that's very impressive to me that you have that. So like keep it up for sure. Heck yeah. Very, very cool. All right. Well, feel free to put more options in the chat. If you think of other ways where you feel like you can, think of other ways that make it easier to unmask. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to our last question, which might even tie into the one that we were just discussing. How do you care for yourself once you're unmasking? Um, because I feel like there's a bit of a difference where it's like getting yourself to unmask is like like what we were just talking about, like going for a run, or like just indulging in things that make you feel good, or being in a safe environment. But like, as we said in the beginning, masking is exhausting, and like it takes so much energy out of us. So like, what do we have to do to care for ourselves and like make sure that like we get our moments of kindness, and are just able to like exist and relax and like make sure that we're like actually doing okay. um I find that nowadays I have to lie down a lot. um and it's just because it's a very low stimulation environment where like that bed behind me, which is filled with so many pillows and squishmallows and all things soft, that's my nest. When I'm in there, it's just like everything's fine. And so spending time there really helps me. I love cooking. I love cooking so much because it's like I'm creating something that's going to be delicious, and like everyone's going to love it, hopefully. And I'm like doing this like meditative task of like chopping up food and like all that stuff. So that is a nice healing thing for me as well. I'm gonna check the chat. Building in the Sims, hell yeah, absolutely. You and my sister would get along. um doom scrolling on TikTok holding my squishmallow and weighted stitch stuffy, hell yeah, been there baby. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that later tonight. Oh my god. Don't doom scroll for too long. That's bad for you. Walking the dog makes exercise easier. I also spend time caring for my house plants. Uninterrupted quiet time with dozens of plants. That sounds like freaking heaven. Brittany, are you a druid in that case? Um, but no, that's like in all seriousness, that's wonderful. And like I again like think it's so cool that you like have like they're like a project. Like it's like you have to take care of these things. They are living things, and like that's I can imagine that that is not only very meditative to do in the practical sense, but also it's probably pretty fulfilling in the spiritual sense because you're keeping these things alive, and it's probably cool to have plants in the house. So like everybody wins. Um, I really love that you do that. That's very, very cool. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Anybody else? How do you care for yourself when you have masked for a long time and you need to maybe gain some energy back or even gain some self-esteem back? Because like spending so much time being not yourself takes a huge or it can cause a huge blow to the self-esteem. Um, and like I can relate to that on the level of masking as an autistic person but also masking as a trans person. I spent the first 28 years of my life pretending to be a man, and I am not. And as soon as I was able to unmask that, oh my god, I felt so much better. There was a whole slew of new issues that I had to pay attention to, but like the internal feeling about myself was so immensely better. And through my own spectrumhood as well, I have experienced similar feelings when I've been masking for a really long time, and then I finally come to a time where I can stop. Um, and like it just feels like a huge weight has been lifted off my chest. So that's that's how I feel about that. Tell me if you guys feel similarly. Chica, you meditate. That's awesome. I commend you for doing that. I wish I had the patience for that. Um, you know, ADHD makes that tough. Dark lo-fi, yes. Oh, now you're speaking my language. That is the jam right there. Absolutely. I've been getting into a lot of like mid-tempo EDM kind of stuff recently. Um, and it's like it's more like synthwave than EDM, which is like amazing. I love it. And yeah, it's just it's great stuff. Tai Chi moving meditation. Honestly, that's a good point because like we've been talking about motion so much this entire time, and like Tai Chi is literally moving meditation. So like, sure. Oh man, yeah, maybe that's like a life changing thing that I just haven't like discovered for myself yet. Hell yeah. Anybody else? How do you care for yourself after a long day of masking? What do you do for yourself to make you feel like you again? One day after a particularly long and awful time at work, I, on impulse, got a septum piercing. That's my little nose ring, and I don't regret it. I think it looks super cute, but it, I don't know. Maybe that's not as much an autism thing as much a I just needed to do something. I don't know. Pacing seems like a meditation of sorts, Molly. Yeah, I see that. I think that's great. Like, and like, I sound like a broken record, but like, again, with the motion, like, I said earlier that like it has like a soothing quality to it. So like, yeah, of course, like that sounds like a very nice like meditative practice for sure. I love that for you. Also, thank you. Appreciate it. I also got my hair done. I'm purple now. Last stream I was blue. Now I'm purple. Yes, Quantum Chica. Yes, yes, you're with me. Like piercings and tattoo. Here's my pentagram. Hell yeah. Um, that gives me happy brain chemicals so much. Like, there's only so many piercings I actually want, and thankfully, like my septum was one of them. Um, but yeah, no, it gives you an insane rush. It's awesome. Um, I do need to do the rest of my sleeve though. I want to like do like a whole thing based off my pentagram at the top and just have it go all the way down. So, we'll update on future stream whenever I am able to get that for myself. If I ever have $1,100 to spare. Too bad. Anyway, okay, y'all. So we've been going for about 40 minutes, and I think it might be time to wrap up here. If you have any last thoughts, please feel free to toss them in the chat while I'm doing our outro here. In fact, I'm going to read this one that just came in. My son says that he connects with online friends in Discord. He also does. Oh my God. Wow, that's awesome. Sue, your son sounds so talented and awesome. That's really, really cool. Um, Wow, that's really cool. And like, yeah, so oh my god. So okay, sorry. I'm gonna suspend our outro for a second because I have something to say about online friends. Online friends are awesome. Like, and particularly through Discord, like you mentioned down there, Sue. Um, it's so cool, like, cause like, you know how earlier I was talking about how, like, working from home is sick because, like, my work is all just here in this little rectangle, and then once it's done, and I'm, like, home and can do whatever I want. It's, like, a similar concept with friends because it's, like, an online friend who I'm having a group chat with, um, you know, like or not a group chat, but I'm having, like, a chat with, like, we're gonna have our fun, spend our time with each other, and then as soon as it's done, I'm home. Cool. And like it's still like a very legitimate friendship connection, but it comes with the ease of like all of your own comforts, and that's just so sick. Um that's really, really cool. So thank you for bringing that up, Sue. I love that. Um Okay, cool. So now we're gonna do our outro. Thank you for being here, everybody. Um, this was a nice talk. Thank you to everybody who was commenting and keeping the conversation going. You guys rule. Hell yeah. Once again, I am Olive. I work here at the Nope, that's our old title. The Association for Autism and Neurodiversity. Clearly, I'm still getting used to that. Um, and our AANE organization, once again, is here to provide services to autistic folks, their families, and the folks and professionals that support them. Once again, link in the description of this video. And Maggie has also linked a bunch of cool things in the chat, so please feel free to take those down. And heck yeah, thank you for being here, everybody. Um, and I hope to see you next month when we do our next topic. And that'll be in the new year. Oh my God. Wait. Oh my God. Have a great last month of the year, everybody. And I guess I'll see you in 2024. Hell yeah. Bye.